Hi everybody, I'm Lou. I'm new to CAC, I just joined in September, and I'm here today to talk you through our organisation accreditation pathway. It is our expectation at CAC that when we create a new partnership with a new organisation, we expect all organisations to journey along the accreditation pathway with us, and it's a pathway of support and sharing that will hopefully strengthen your organisation, make you more robust, more sustainable, and more likely to be able to access funding opportunities. So as we scroll down through the document, it starts off by saying what CAC is, and it talks about our three brands of creating Legacy 17, Choice for Women 17, and Coaching 17. The accreditation pathway would fall under the Coaching 17 brand. We then have a little bit of information about why you might like to become accredited. I've already kind of alluded to strengthening your organisation, making you more robust, raising your profile within the sports development industry, and the fact that it will make you more likely to be able to access funding and awards. So this infographic kind of demonstrates what our accreditation pathway looks like. And we went for a circle because we didn't want it to be linear. There is no beginning and no end. Different organisations, when you partner with CAC, will already have some of these resources that they can evidence that are already in place. Other brand new NGOs may be at the very infancy of their experience and will need a lot of support. So there's no definite beginning, there's no definite end. And there also isn't a fixed duration for the pathway because, like I said, some organisations may partner with CAC when they already have lots of these things in place, and other organisations will need a lot of support. So in terms of duration, it really is, very much open to how long it takes your organisation to move along the pathway. As you can see, we've broken down the organisation accreditation into three areas: safeguarding, organisation development, and purposeful play culture. And I'm going to scroll down the document and break those elements down a little bit further for you. We start with safeguarding because we at CAC consider that to be the most fundamental element of any organisation's structure. And we at CAC break safeguarding down into different component parts. Now, if you look at this diagram, you will see that on the left-hand side, you have the criteria. The middle section talks about how CAC will support your organisation to meet those criteria. And then the right-hand side column looks at what is it that we actually will look to see? What evidence will you need to show us to say, yes, we are doing that. We've already got that in place. So that's how the table will work. So looking at the table, safeguarding for us gets broken down into child safe, coach safe, organisation safe, community safe, social media safe, whistleblowing, code of conduct, and gender safe toolkit. So within that, child safe for us is about empowering the children to know their rights. And for us, that comes through playing 5 core child rights games in the style of purposeful play to empower the children to understand that they are entitled to their voice, they're entitled to education, they should be able to be free from violence and have a comfortable home environment. So the 5 core child rights games are to empower the children about their rights. Coach Safe is something we can support you with a resource call. And it's where the organisation provides the opportunity for the coaches to engage with safeguarding training. And you can choose that training. It might be through some online platform. It might be something that's done in person. That's down for your organisation to decide which safeguarding course your coaches will be able to access. But that the organisation also provides a safe place for the coaches to discuss any safeguarding concerns, because when we go on a course and we get qualified, that isn't the end of the journey. We have to then, from that course, have the skills, the knowledge to be able to act should there be an issue regarding safeguarding. The organisation itself will need to have a policy that is written collaboratively with your members of staff, so everybody knows what's in it, where it's kept and what it says, and that every new member of staff is given a safeguarding induction, and that as an organisation you track which members of staff have had a safeguarding qualification and when they may need to renew that, because safeguarding isn't just a do it once and it's over. It's something that we need to make sure we are renewing and reminding ourselves of the contents of the course so that it's fresh and that we feel really confident with it as a topic. Community Safe is about looking at your entire community, thinking about which people within that community contribute to the safeguarding of the children. So in some communities that might be your NGO, the education system, the police service, maybe doctors and nurses and the health system, potentially social workers and youth workers, maybe the church. And all of these different organisations and establishments will be involved in the children's lives and will be able to play a part in safeguarding the children. And so community mapping is about taking that step back, looking at the community and thinking about how those organisations interact with each other and talk to each other and have clear channels of communication that will ultimately improve the safeguarding of the children in the community. Social Media Safe is about the organisation using social media, having a policy, making sure you have permission to upload photos or videos of children online, and thinking about your role as an organisation in educating children about their online safety and the fact that, you know, people online aren't always who they say they are. They may not be the age they say they are. They may not have the name they say they are. And giving that education to the children that come to you will help them to be safer online. A whistleblowing policy is a policy that all your members of staff need to be aware of, that basically protects them and gives them anonymity if they want to raise a safeguarding concern, because sometimes it can be quite scary to raise a concern in case you think there might be some sort of retaliation or it might have an impact on your employment. But ultimately, if you have a whistleblowing policy that protects your members of staff and makes them feel safe, they will voice concerns over safeguarding and they won't have that barrier to potentially protecting children. Code of conduct is a resource which really ties together all other aspects of your safeguarding. It's kind of like a document that supports you to say, we've delivered our child rights games, our children are empowered and knowledgeable, our coaches are qualified, we have an induction program, we track the coaches, we're social media savvy and we make sure the children are aware of the risks online, we've got our whistleblowing policy, we've got all of these things in place, and now every member of staff signs the code of conduct to say they're going to adhere to those policies and procedures. And then finally, our Gender Safe Toolkit is a resource that we provide that allows you as an organisation to reflect on the challenges that women and girls face in terms of accessing your sessions and in your community, and ways that you as an organisation can look to address those inequalities and support the women and girls. And that's the end of the safeguarding section of the organisational pathway. So I'm just going to scroll down now to the turquoise section, which is about this sort of strategic development of your organisation. So first of all, we have the United Nations Social Development Goals. And we want to look at, are you aware of those goals and how are they embedded within your organisation structure? So for example, have you written the UN SDGs into your theory of change? Are they something that gets reflected in your M&E? Are they part of your programme design and curriculum design? Is the wording of the United Nations Social Development Goals reflected in your mission and vision and purpose of your organisation? Do you refer to them with your grants and your award writing? And are they something that you use for part of your storytelling online? So there's loads of different ways in which you can reflect the UN SDGs within your organisation. We're not saying it's a one-size-fits-all, but we do think that it's the language that we need to be using to drive your organisation forward and make you more robust and sustainable and more likely to access that funding. A theory of change is a working live document that you create that helps you to move forwards as an organisation to where you would like to be in the future. So what are your desired outcomes as an organisation? What is it you're hoping to achieve? And what things do you need to put in place to get to that desired outcome? And potentially what barriers and challenges might you face and how can you overcome them? So it's kind of a strategic document that helps you move in the right direction as an organisation. And we can support you with that with resource calls. Monitoring and evaluation is a really important part of proving that what you're doing has impact, and therefore you're more likely to be able to access funding in the future and write for grants and things like that. Workplace is our main communication tool online to collaborate with our partners and share opportunities for professional development, potentially funding opportunities, resource call information, share successes. So we would like our organisations to engage with Workplace regularly. We look at the UN Convention Rights of the Child and how your organisation provides evidence that child rights are reflected within your key organisation structure, and it gives you some examples there. And then fundraising support. I mean, let's face it, every organisation needs fundraising, right? We need funds to be able to sustain us. And so, you know, are you finding grant opportunities? Do you need some support in writing grant applications? What about awards to kind of give you credit for the work that you're already doing and raise your profile within the industry, and potentially references and things like that. So CAC are there to support you with that element. And then finally, we move down to purposeful play culture, which is purposeful play culture is the thing that makes CAC unique in the terms that the way that we approach sports for development and self-directed learning, education outside the classroom, you know, engaging with fun learning environments that help us to look at social issues. And so that gets broken down into its component parts. As an organisation, it's really about being aware of the methodology that CAC employs and embracing it, providing opportunities for your coaches to get trained in the methodology and facilitate the delivery of purposeful play in at least one session a week. I've said facilitating coaches in getting training from CAC and learning our coaching guidelines and all the elements of the things that we would consider important to make a coach experienced and raise the quality of their provision. We then have Global Day of Play, which is CAC's unique global day, which encourages everybody to enjoy the rewards of play in whatever form that may be. And that's on August the 27th every year. We also then, from that one day of play, want, you know, one day a year is a fantastic call to action, but we wanted to change that into a movement that was more sustainable. So we then have our Pledge to Play every day, which is our movement to ask organisations to promote that play is being done within their communities and their societies, at least 2 posts a month using the Pledge to Play Every Day hashtag to support the movement that, and just encourage people to get up and get out and have fun and be active and play. So that is the end of the organisation accreditation pathway, and we are sharing this document with all of our partners via Workplace. And if you have any questions about that document, then send me an email, lou@coachesacrosscontinents.org, and we can set up a call. We can work on any aspect of the accreditation pathway that you feel you need support with. And also we'll be doing resource calls every month to support you with different aspects of that. Okay, thanks very much for your time.